The German Emperor is very pleased with his Kaiser fleet. His battle fleets have engaged the British, the French, and the American forces and been victorious in nearly every battle. He is very pleased with their conduct, yet his ambitious hands have risked much and have gained much, but now, well, he feels the dogs nipping at his heels, and how he feels that he must restrain himself to some extent and withdraw his forces away from British waters. Yet to perhaps come again when the opportunity strikes, but at this moment he feels that now is a time for, well, for the land war, as his attention draws away from the conflict against his cousin on the English throne, and now focuses on his age-old enemy in the form of France. It is time for him to focus much more on the land war, as he engages his forces against the French in some of the climactic battles of Switzerland, and now he sees if he can make a push towards Paris. Welcome all to Operation Schlieffen. We are now playing as the Germans, moments after doing the Austrian turn, and this is our purchases. We have 56 bucks, battleship, 8 infantry, because we need more land forces, 2 artillery, and 2 tanks. That's what the program is for tonight's evening. We are not doing any dramatic battles. We're going to leave that to our enemy to come after us. For the most part, we are generally going to do some more interesting withdrawals. So from Belgium to Picardy, we are sending in 2 armored units to Picardy. We're going to send in our fighter, and we are going to send in our 2 stacks of infantry. So that's 11 infantry, 2 artillery as well. 1 armor is going to go into Lorraine, and it's going to be followed up with everything in Switzerland minus 3 infantry. Yeah, minus 3 infantry. 1 infantry will retreat to Munich. 1 infantry will retreat to Alsace. And I need to break up this chip stack. So just bear with me 1 second. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. 1 infantry will stay behind in Switzerland, and the rest of them will come over here to Lorraine. So by my count, that means we're looking at something like, I believe we had 12 there to begin with, so this makes 11, 10, 9 coming across to join the fight in Lorraine, with our artillery as well, wherever they went. Yeah, here we are, our 11 artillery. This is all getting a little bit tight for space in Switzerland. The Alps are not a place to be combated in. I was looking at one of the modifications for this game, and I liked the concept that Switzerland is exceptional in the fact that it only provides 1 IPC of income, but it defends as if it's a 4 IPC country, meaning that it's, you know, quite costly to attack, because that's going to be, you know, a quite sizable chunk of change to invade there, but ultimately your rewards for going in there are going to be quite minimal. It'll be just perhaps a positional advantage, but that's it. So I like the concept of that. It makes Switzerland stay neutral much longer. There's a few expansions I'd like to try in the subsequent games. I do want to play this again sometime, and I think it'd be quite interesting to play with some expansions. So if anybody's I'm not going to put a general call out there, because I want to be somewhat selective in who I play with, but at some point I'd like to play with people who are interested in making nice videos as me, and I think that would have some nice merit behind it. We'd make some nice videos for people. Okay, so the transport fleet is going to come to Sea Zone 11, pick up some forces, and we're going to drop them off in Denmark. Now the big question is, can I bombard from this position to Denmark or not? And that's an interesting one, because if you can bombard from a separate territory, you are a separate sea zone that you're landing in, then that will change my plan. Let me quickly check here. I should have looked at all this before. From which the units offload. Okay, so that answers my question. So I'm going to move this battle fleet to this position here, and they are going to offload into Denmark here with 4 shots against the enemy, and these units going in as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 5, 6, 7. That fighter doesn't need to join. I'm also going to send from Holland to Belgium a stack here. I guess I gotta grab a ship here for these guys, as I see it's disappeared. And from Kiel to Holland, 2 infantry as well. Yeah, and then from Poland to Prussia. Oops, I guess I can't go all the way that far. So I'm going to keep 1 infantry back, because that way I could land my aircraft here. There we have it. And this aircraft is going to go as far as Holland from Berlin. So there we have it. Alright, so we have a combat here in Denmark against a few enemy units. And they will be, because it's a value of 2 territory, so that means they get 3 infantry and 1 artillery. I suppose they're going to be British. I don't know if it matters too much, but I'm going to make them British. I want the British to suffer more casualties. Okay, so there we have it. Some bombarding attacks, but apart from that, that's generally it. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, moving on from that point to our actual combat. Let's start with Lorraine, where they have 1 infantry defending. So, our attacks is going to be 9 infantry, unsupported. And there's 3 hits, so that's perfect. Now the defense is going to be 1 infantry at 3, with a miss there. And now we're going to go into the territory of Lorraine. And in this territory we have 10 infantry going in, with plenty of artillery support. So we have 11 artillery. So we're going to roll, here's 10 dice for the infantry, with plenty of hits. And the defense will be 1 at 3, with a miss as well. So we've taken both those territories out. And now for Denmark. Denmark, we're going to roll for the artillery offloading. Yeah, artillery offloading. I forgot. Oh, sorry, the defending artillery rolls with a hit. So one of our tanks is going to be damaged. All right, so now we go for the combat proper. We're going to first roll for our 4 battleships, rolling at 4 with sufficient hits to wipe them out. So we're just going to go for the rest of the defense here. 4 dice at 3 with an extra 1 hit. So both our tanks are damaged, but otherwise we capture that territory no problemo and take out the British units here. And our 2 tanks are damaged, but otherwise we capture the territory. So excellent news as we gain more income for the mighty German Empire at no cost to our own selves. And as for these guys here, we take off these 2 French units, and again we gain a total of 6 IPCs this turn from all of our opponents. All of our opponents at no cost to our own selves. So that brings us up from 52 to 58 bucks of income. And what else needs to be said? I think that's about it. So 58 bucks increases our income by 2. Last turn, of course, we also collected the Russian treasury, and so that was why we spent 56. And now we have 58 to spend on the subsequent turn. We're going to place our units here. We're going to place our, let's say our battleship here. I don't think there's anything that could hurt our battleship if we place it there. And of course, our land units have to be placed in Berlin for the subsequent turn. Oh, you know what? I forgot to move 1 unit here. I'm not sure if it's acceptable or not. I did have it photographed as my kind of ambitious intent on what to move, and that is up here. Parked in Karelia, these 3 units and these whatever artillery come up here. So that was the plan. I hope that's acceptable to my opponents. It doesn't infringe on anybody, but that's the direction that they're going for, and it was my intention as I had it written down there as in the slideshots prior to doing my turn. Okay, everybody, thank you all for watching. Cheers.